Today we're gonna Inter Chief, Marcus Guest, and the rest of the ASU Police Department. They're gonna put on a workshop, active shooter workshop, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how we respond to any crisis of potential active shooter. Now, keep in mind, before House Bill 280 got signed, we were already doing this. This is what we do on a daily basis. We train. Majority of our officers have gone to alert shooter training. We just partnered with the FBI and some other agencies, Texas, all the way to California. We've been doing this for the past couple of years. And one of the things that we want to do, and we sell this, when we go to new student orientation, we sell it to the parents, we sell it to the students, and we try to practice what we preach. And we try to make sure that you're safe on campus. Got to think about it is, I can't stand up here and tell you 100% that it's not going to happen. But we're always in preventive mode. But right now, we're preparing for what's possibly going to happen, the what if. You see it on TV all the time, and we got to get out of that mode of being complacent. And you guys, faculty, staff, and students, you got to help out. Not talking about carrying a weapon, but when you see something, say something. If you got a gut feeling about something, say something. You got a coworker come to work and they just don't seem right, you know about a domestic violence issue, call the police. Let us deal with it. I believe in preventive measures, and that's what we got to do. We consolidated as a new police department March the 1st. That's how we've been consolidated a whole year. We've grown. We have a total of 46 men and women with Albany State University Police Department. Great police department. It's some of the best officers I ever had while working here. This is my 7th year, going on 7 years being chief of Albany State University, my 11th year working here. We got a lot of experience here at Albany State University. We got some former narcotic officers. We got some troopers. We got some people that have been in all aspects of law enforcement. So you have a good group of guys and girls that work for you, and they are professional. If you work for me, you got to sing my praise. And when people that know me, I'm consistent. I'm very consistent. I'm very serious about the safety of this campus. I don't change. I'm the same person every day. And the people that work for me, they know that. So you work for me, you got to be professional. So today, we want you guys to, I'm going to do the House bill part, and I'm going to take some questions. Then I got a conference call I need to work on. But you know, you can call me and talk to me anytime. This is the first of probably 4 presentations that we're going to do by the end of August. And so there's a lot of confusion about House Bill 280, a lot of questions. But the thing about it is, I'm not stressing over it. Because in reality, wherever you go today in the state of Georgia, somebody got a gun. Right now, the current law says that you can have a weapon in your car on campus, if you have a weapons permit. But we know people have guns in their cars that don't have weapons permit. Right now, if you get out of that car and you come in the building, it's a felony with the current law. The new law says it's a misdemeanor, $25 ticket. Misdemeanor, $25. So what we're going to do, my department and other departments, probably in USG, we're going to educate. We're going to teach you about the law. Everybody makes mistakes, and we'll talk about that later, okay? So make sure you pay attention, ask questions. And the thing about it is, too, I want to emphasize this. Just because you can doesn't mean you want to. And as police officers, if we get into a shooting, it's going to change your life, whether it's justified or not. But before it's justified, you got to deal with that criminal aspect. That means there's going to be a criminal investigation. If there's a shooter on any USG campus, the GBI is going to come in and do that investigation. So you're going to get put through the ringer. Then after that criminal investigation, if you're cleared, and 99.9% of the time, somebody's going to sue you. That's going to happen. That's what we go through as police officers. Now, vicarious liability does not extend to other people. So keep that in mind. I'm going to get a gun. I want to get a gun. But what you going to do with that gun? You got to make sure that you're responsible getting a gun. I am a true believer of the Second Amendment. I believe in that. But you got to be responsible. If somebody break in your car and steal your weapon, you're responsible for that. You are responsible. If there's a way that somebody can sue you, they're going to do it. But you have the right to protect yourself also. But while you're on this campus, that's our job. That is our job. Go ahead and start. I'm going to walk around. Hey, standing on stage. Okay. I think I mentioned some of that already. It's our ALERRT training. It's something that we do all the time, and today you guys will be able to participate in this training. You will be able to see exactly what we do on a daily basis. Now, I'm gonna tell you, we are probably number 3 as far as being a safe campus. Now, we have stuff that goes on this campus. You don't hear about it because we deal with it. You don't see the media coming out, putting us out worldwide in the news because we had a good relationship with the media. And they know if they, what's the word for it? If they make, I just say if they make us look bad on TV, then I'm not going to want to talk. And you know, I get on TV and I talk a lot. We try to sell the safety of this university, and that brings students, which is most important. Okay, House Bill 280. And I just told you about the current law said license holders keep weapons and secure motor vehicles beginning July the 1st, which is in a couple weeks. Will allow anyone who is properly licensed in the state of Georgia to carry a handgun in a concealed manner. This is not concealed. This is not concealed. Now, concealed is you can't see it. But if I got a jacket on, and keep in mind in the summertime, when you talk about concealed, so everybody, people like me like to keep the shirts in the pants, you got to find a way to conceal that weapon. But if I have that weapon and I got a jacket on in the summertime, you see it, that's not intentional. So if it's sticking out, it's not intentional. So what we're going to do, we're going to tell you to conceal that weapon. That's all we're going to do. We ain't going to try to arrest everybody for making a mistake. That's not the intent of the law. And this bill extends to technical colleges and universities. Does not extend to private colleges like Spelman, Morehouse, and those other colleges. They have their own rules. And the other thing about this bill, we cannot add or take away from this bill. So Albany State University cannot come up with their own rules about carrying a weapon on campus. And we can't take away what the law says. The law says you can walk through the hallway with the weapon, then that's what you can do. And I got some frequently asked questions I'm going to pass out also, so you can pass out to your staff and make some copies. The statute defines conceal as carry such as a fashion that does not actively solicit the attention of others. And let's talk about that. The attention of others. If I walk in your office and you're a professor, which I can walk through the hallway, but if I come up to you and I'm showing you my weapon, it's not concealed, that's intentional. That's intentional. But if you see my weapon, and I got it in my pocket, some people may have it in the pocket, because concealed is concealed. I may have it in my back, it may be sticking out, that's not intentional. But the intent, remember that the intent to intimidate somebody is the main thing. License holders, therefore, may carry a handgun while it's substantially, but not necessarily completely covered by an article of clothing he or she is wearing. That's what I just talked about. You can have it in your handbag, and I promise you, there are some people on this campus today carry a weapon in their handbag or the book bag. Students, they do. Which one is not concealed? Left or right? Okay. Okay. It's concealed. And when you go into the restaurants, if you really look, and the thing about it is, you got to pay attention. A lot of people have weapons. If you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. Some people have it down the ankle. Some people have it in the purse, on the side, in the back, in the front. But people do have those weapons. So just keep that in mind. So this is not something new that we got to deal with, because we're already dealing with this on the outside. We deal with it every day. Okay. Well, guns not allowed on campus. Now, The one thing is we can't put out any signs anywhere. Law says we cannot do that anymore. So the signs that we have up, we got to take them down, because you can have weapons on campus now, just in no restricted areas. Now we can put something up in a restricted area, but I don't think the president gonna want those signs up. But the signs that are outside, they got to come down. Exceptions. Now this is the big one right here. This is the one that gives me chills. Buildings and property used for athletic sporting events. The exception, now these are the places that you cannot have a weapon. Stadium, gymnasium, similar facilities in which collegiate games are staged, but does not extend to so-called tailgating areas. So guess what? You can't have a weapon inside the stadium, but you can have it in tailgating. And we all know what happens in tailgating. That's part of the city. So that's the one that gives me chills, because our tailgating area is right by the stadium. So we're going to have to police a little bit different during those big money games. We know we have games that they don't do a lot of tailgating, but we know homecoming and probably a couple other those games, we're going to have to police a whole lot different. So we have to change some things the way we do business around here at Albany State University. A lot of other places too, like UGA and all the other places too, they're going to go through the same thing we're going through. But those are the things that I worry about. Let's talk about Hyper Gym. Hyper Gym has classrooms. So guess what? You can have a weapon in Hyper Gym. Now during that sporting event, when you come inside a Hyper Gym, you can't have it inside the gym. Anywhere you have classrooms, it's like half and half. And we're still trying to work out those details, but you got classrooms inside that gym. Now Sanford Gym, no. You can have a weapon in that gym. It all depends. A lot of stuff, a lot of question marks, but you know, it's one of the things we have to deal with. So you guys see why we are doing what we're doing at football games. We've been doing this in the beginning, so it's nothing new for the police department. We've always been looking for weapons. Okay, student housing. Resident halls, similar to buildings, or where students live, such as fraternity or sorority house, we don't have those. So we have to worry about those. But the resident hall, you cannot take a weapon inside a resident hall. Now, how many people believe that our students are not going to bring a weapon in the resident hall? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But we're here, what we're here to do is we're trying to nurture our students. We're trying to make sure that we keep up retention. So what I'm doing, I'm talking, Judge Weaver, we're going to meet again. If that happens, we're trying to issue citations. And those are city citations. If I get approved to do that. But I'm going to take your weapon from you. It's a violation. And you're going to have to go through judiciary on campus. But I'm going to take your weapon. And once I get your weapon, it's going to take an act of Congress to get it back. That's going to be a long 2-year process. But that student will be retained. And that's the first time. And it depends on the situation. Early Learning Center. Anywhere that you have access, you have preschool, or let's say here in a building, you have access, somebody sitting at the door, you cannot take a weapon inside. So our Early Learning Center, in order to qualify our preschool child care space, must have a controlled access, which it is. You got to have, somebody got to let you in, or you got to have a card to get in. So they can't take a weapon inside the Early Learning Center, which is great. Rooms and other spaces during the times when they are being used for classes in which high school students are enrolled, which through the dual enrollment programs such as Move On Ready, through college and career academies, or specialized programs such as early college. Let me tell you about this one. As a gun toter, if you want to carry your weapon, it's your responsibility in the classroom. It's your responsibility to contact the register office or the designee, not the police department. We're not going to volunteer for that one. If you want to carry your weapon in the classroom, you have to find out if there's a high school student enrolled in that classroom. So you got to do it. Everybody heard me. You have to do it. It's not the police department. It's not Albany State University that's going to let you know, because we cannot give the names of those students enrolled in that class. Everybody understand? Can't do it. We're going to tell you that they're in there, and they are. So you can't carry your weapon in that class. If you do, it's a violation. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Now, there's a lot of parts of this law I like. So you can't carry a weapon in them. Here's the other thing. If you have a high school student that's working as an aide or something in your classroom, they can carry a weapon in that classroom because that high school student is not enrolled. That's the most important piece. They have to be enrolled. Remember that. Let me see. And people in the register office or whoever they come to, if you have a weapons holder that comes to your office and asks about this, you cannot keep that person's name document. So if Bobby Fitz come to your office and say, I want to know if the high school student in my 2 o'clock class, you cannot write Bobby Fitz's name down. Or you cannot dispose of Bobby Fitz's name. You can't expose anything about Bobby Fitz. Can't do it. Against the law. All right? And here's another thing. We cannot ask anybody if they have a permit. So if I know that's an 18-year-old student in the back of my mind, and that's that person walk around with that weapon, guess what? Can't ask. That's the law. Because what's going to happen is, even if I make that arrest and that person violating, when they get to court, what that lawyer's going to do, you violated my client's right anyway because you violated law because you shouldn't arrest him in the first place. You couldn't ask. Isn't that something? But that's the current law today. We can't ask. We can see it. Now, right now, we can. But after July the 1st, and we're the only ones that can ask campus police. We're the only ones that can ask right now. But starting July the 1st, we fall in that same realm as everybody else. We can't ask. I can see it. Now, if it's concealed, if it's not concealed, I can tell you to conceal it. And if you don't do it, I don't have to arrest you for the gun law. I can arrest you for criminal trespass because I asked you to do something, you didn't do it. Play on words. See what I'm saying? So I don't have to arrest you for the gun law. I arrest you for the criminal trespass because I asked you to do something, you didn't do it. That'll keep us out of the news. So we thought about that. Okay. Some more exceptions. Faculty and staff administrative office. This exception includes offices and suites occupied by faculty, staff, and administrator, but does not include the general public common area. So you got to come in the area where your reception is. Yeah, they can probably have a gun right there. They can, but they can't come in your office. So when it's time for the advisement or the grades come out and they want to pack up and come in your office, nope, can't come in there. Call us. Let us do our job. Let the police be the police. And we're going to see this a little bit later because the law says some things about you trying to be the police also. Let us handle it. But please don't try to use us as muscle. I hate when somebody called me when there's a classroom management issue and they want the police department to handle it. I hate that. Please don't use us as muscle. Use us when you need to use us. We're here to serve everybody. We're not here to scare anybody. I don't believe in that. I believe in being professional, providing the best service that we can for Albany State University. Okay. Rooms during times when they're being used, disciplinary procedures. So Ms. Jordan area, you can't have a weapon. And 9 times out of 10, when she has a student with an issue, we're going to be there anyway. We have a security officer that's assigned to the student center at all times. And during those student hearing, that could be Title IX or probably administrative is up in the president's office. You cannot have a weapon. What will happen if someone does not comply? Under the law, it's a misdemeanor. I told you it's a $15 citation, but it's a printable offense. I mean that you will go to jail, you will get fingerprinted, and depending on how busy they are in the intake, you may have to stay there for a couple hours. But you're going to take the pictures, you're going to be just like you got arrested. We talked about that part. Okay. Be in compliance with the law. Each institution will need to review campus conduct and weapon policy, which we've already done. We already updated student conduct. Student code of conduct, HR has to update the faculty and staff part, which they're working on now. And I talked about this earlier. We don't have the discretion to limit the handguns or other things that pertain to the law. Now, one thing about Texas, I talked to one of the instructors that came down for ALERRT training. They just adopted the same law that we did, because in Texas, you may have one of their off-site campus doing one thing, one of the main campus doing one thing, and it was just all over the place. So the state of Texas, they are doing the same thing we're doing in the state of Georgia right now. And we are model, even with the consolidations and the gun bill, everybody's watching us now. Georgia is really one of the top states that are being watched for a lot of stuff these days. It's incumbent upon each of us to follow the law. Students, faculty, and staff should not attempt themselves to monitor or enforce compliance with this statute to carry guns. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to come help me. Everybody understand that? I don't need you to come out there if you carrying a weapon. You see me chasing somebody, you got your gun out, I got my gun out, and you end up shooting me, or you shooting somebody else. After I deal with that situation, I'm going to have to come deal with you because you're breaking the law. We don't need John Waynes around here. Let the police be the police. Trust me. We can do it. Everybody understand that? Don't need your help. Don't even put yourself in that situation, because we got vicarious liability that's protecting us. We're going to do our job. If we're in the act of performing our duty, we may go through the ringer, but guess what? We're going to be okay. But you're not going to be okay. So please don't do that. Oh, Chief Hill chase somebody. It's time to get my gun out of my car. It's on. Don't do that. Please don't. And the law says that. Law enforcement personnel, including the university system, more than 800. There's more than 800 of us. Post-certified officers will be responsible for enforcing the law. One thing about us, we are certified on every campus. So UGA come to Albany State, they're certified. We go to UGA, we're certified. And also we're a process of doing Georgia Tech football games and soccer games. We do it just about every weekend. So we're moving up in the world today. That's a morale thing that we started also. Okay, if you have any questions other than today, go to this website, and we're gonna start sending this information out tomorrow. Go to this website, and it'll tell you some things about the campus carry. There's a lot of litigation going on. There's going to be some change. Like any law, there's some conflicts. There's going to be some changes and some upgrades. So we just going to have to see what's going to happen this year, and we're going to pray for the best. I am a Christian, and I have prayed over this, and I'm going to keep praying over this. We're going to make it through. There may be some problems going to some other university, but we're going to make sure it's not at Albany State University. If it does happen, we're going to deal with it, and we're going to move on. We're not going to stress over. All right? Any questions? James.
One question was brought up to me. We put it on incumbent on students to go to the registrar's office to confirm there's no move on when ready students. What are we going to do if the student goes the first day of class and there's no move on when ready students? Then a move on when ready student is added the next day during drop add. So the students are going to need to go the first day of class and then again after drop add to confirm there's no.
That's one of the things that we as a university are going to have to deal with. And if that person goes to the registrar office is going to have to keep a list. If somebody comes to the registrar office and asks about that class, somebody in there is going to have to say, hey, there's a student in that class. So anytime there's a move on ready student, now doesn't say is that they can't tell faculty to mention that it's a move on ready student in there. You just can't dispose the name. So it's upon the university to make sure that it happens also. There's so many loopholes in this new law, so many things that we're going to learn and grow on. But that's a good question, though. Any other questions?
I think I did hear what you're saying, but I want to make sure. So you're saying that no one is supposed to come to faculty office space with a gun.
Correct.
That's clear.
Correct. You
Okay.
cannot go in an administrative office with a gun.
Okay.
But they could be in your common area with a gun. They just can't come in your office.
But if they do,
Call the police.
I call police.
They're violating policy. Call the police.
But I should ask them why they come with a gun to my office. I should
Call the police.
Okay.
Call the police.
All right. Okay. Classroom. They can come to a classroom with a gun.
They can come in your classroom so long as it's not a move on ready student, a high school student, enrolled student in your classroom.
I should not be concealed, right? Okay. Yeah.
So keep in mind, as a faculty, the same thing applies to faculty and staff also.
Yeah. It should not be concealed. Okay. This is a new
They can
era.
carry in your classroom.
The
Yeah.
gun should be concealed or not concealed?
Not concealed.
Conceal.
At all situations should be concealed, right?
Conceal. Every weapon, everybody that carries a weapon on campus, weapon should be concealed.
Must be concealed.
But if you see it, if it's not intentional, let us deal with it. We'll tell them you need to conceal that weapon. If you can't conceal it, go put it back in your car or take it back off campus. Now, you're going to have those incidents, but we're not going to make a big issue of it. We're not going to arrest everybody that's walking around with a non-concealed weapon. Sometimes people have tunnel vision. You may be in your car, you have your weapon on, you get out, you got your shirt in your pants, and this is not concealed. So the police department, what we're going to do is tell you conceal your weapon and just move on. But if you come the second day doing the same thing, then you're intentionally violating the law.
Wow.
So it's always a case-by-case basis. And keep in mind, when you have a gun and it escalates, once the police gets involved, if I ask you to do something and then you don't do it, then it goes to the next level. Now, if you do something with that gun or you point it at somebody, it's aggravated assault. So the gun laws are still the same, the violations. But carrying the gun on campus is the new law. And it's just something that we just got to get used to. Wow. So when you go into the movie theaters and all these other places, these people have guns. I mean, when it first came out, people were talking about it, and then we just learned to live with it. People kill people. Guns don't kill people. So you got to be responsible if you're going to have a gun. If you have it at home, you have children, you got to be responsible. Even the law enforcement people, I don't just leave my gun at home. I don't have the kids in the house anymore. But when I did have kids in the house, there's just something I didn't do because kids are very curious. And same thing, you have them in your car. Now, people going to know or think you may have a gun in your car. When you have people walking around, they're checking to see if your car is unlocked. You leave it unlocked, they're going to go in your car, and they're going to look around. So don't advertise your gun. Oh, I'm going to leave my gun in my car. I'm going to take it off, and somebody's out in the parking lot watching you, and you put it inside your car. Trust me, people are always watching. So when you're out there texting and walking around, somebody's watching. When you go to Walmart, they're looking for that easy steal. And those are the people that always get caught because you're not paying attention. You don't want to be afraid to walk out in the world. Don't be afraid. But you got to understand that this is a different world today. It's not going to change. And the stuff that's happening overseas, it's going to come over here. It always does. It always does. So our turn is coming. We know it's coming. It's just too much going on.
As faculty and staff, are we allowed to have concealed weapons in our offices?
You can't have them in your office.
Not in our office?
Not in your office.
Okay.
But you can have them. But you can't have them in your office. You can have them in your classroom, so long as you don't have a move on ready student in your office. See, that law is like a yo-yo. It's like a yo-yo, a special area. So, because I don't, and keep in mind too, faculty and staff, we're going to talk about that training also. If there's a shooting in your classroom, everybody got their 6-shooter out. When we come in, and we're going to it's going to be an educational piece, y'all got to drop those weapons and get your hands up, because we're not going to know who's doing what. So keep that in mind. And we're going to be protected. Now, we come in the room and you still want to shoot, guess what? You're going to get shot. It's just that simple. So, and it goes with education. If you got a question, You got a question. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like I'm asking a dumb question. No such thing as a dumb question. Ask the question. You can call me anytime, or you can ask my officers. That's why all of them are here today, so they know what's going on. So when people ask those questions, they supposed to give the right answer. So we want to make sure everybody's saying the same thing. So when you guys leave and the public start talking about, you got to think about the people in the public. They're going to be coming on campus with weapons. And they need to know the law also. So my responsibility is train ASU. Now, this is open to the public. If they want to know, they need to come out here, but they're responsible for knowing the law also. And our students, when they come back, we will have to train them also.
My question is the common area and offices, because for the admin assistants, most times their office is still a common area. Can you
When you look at, when you think about a common area, we're talking about a big open space. Now, your office is not a common area, the way it's shaped. Now, somewhere like the College of Education, that's a common area. It's just like Raven Springs Road. Anybody can walk down Raven Springs with an AK-47, a 223, or a shotgun because it's a public road. So if I wanted to really shoot somebody, I'll get in one of these pickup trucks and stop in the middle of the road, then I can shoot my AK-47, which is crazy. But once you come on campus, you can't do that. And here's the other thing. The law only says handgun. So somebody walking around with a shotgun, whatever, now they going to jail. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They going to jail. And, we just can't tolerate that. So long guns are illegal. So you can't bring them on campus, period. So make sure we relay that. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my question is about the general public, our parents. The law specifies faculty, staff, and students.
Everybody.
Okay, everybody.
That's everybody. Now, it specifies us because we're on campus. But the law is for everybody. It doesn't say, and they're still putting the code together. It's not concrete yet, but the law is for everybody for us carrying a weapon. Same thing as the law today. If somebody from the outside come on campus, they can have a weapon in their car, but once they take it out, then they're breaking the law. I know a lot of people are itching about getting a weapon. I think gun sales are probably going to go up, but just keep in mind, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because you make a mistake or you shoot that weapon and that bullet goes through that wall and hits somebody, that's involuntary manslaughter. I mean, you kill somebody. We've had that to happen a couple of years with one of our students off campus. Somebody was playing with a gun and made a mistake. And that happens all the time. So you got to keep that in mind. If that gun goes off because you panic and it's going to go through that wall and it hits somebody, how many people it hits mean how many charges you going to have? And you're going to be on CNN because it's a college campus. And your whole life, as you know, is going to change. Let us do it.
Define how it relates to third-party rentals. Say I asked define how it relates to third-party rentals. If we rent the Cavalier Arena, say
Same
for a
thing.
large event.
Same thing.
Okay. So all
Same
the
thing.
guests.
Keep in mind, just like alcohol. We control that. Some places, the president may say that you can have alcohol in certain places. Same thing. Law applies to everybody. There's no exception. And we just got to put that in our rental contract.
Right.
And it's
So
all about updating policy, updating everybody. This is our campus. This is our campus. We don't change the rules to appease somebody coming on the campus, whether they're renting or buying or whatever. The law still applies.
So we can get together to add that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
As a faculty member is lecturing in a class, say an evening class, say they're lecturing in the class and they need to get a material out of their office, then they're carrying concealed. When they walk into the threshold into their office to grab something out, they're in violation.
You're in violation.
Unless they go put it in the car and then come back.
Just err on the side of caution. And keep in mind, the judges are, unless you have a fragrant violation, I don't see any judges prosecuting somebody to the fullest extent of the law because they did not conceal their weapon. So that's not the intent of the law, trying to arrest everybody that violate. When you violate, I'm looking at you are committing a crime. Even though you violate, it's a misdemeanor crime. But we're looking at teaching and educating people. Now we know what the intent is. We know what the intent is not. That second time, then we got a problem. We got a problem. That third time, that's gonna be it. Because every time you do something, it adds up. It adds up. Get that warning, that criminal trespass warning, the first time or whatever, it adds up the next time. And then, you know, one thing that I can do, I can say that you can't bring it on campus again if it's a safety issue. But I gotta make sure that I can document and say if I'm challenged, that's a safety issue, and you're a safety issue. If you're a safety issue, you're probably not gonna be working at Albany State University for long. All right? Pass those out for me, Jenny. We're gonna pass out some information. You can look over some more questions that you didn't ask, and we're gonna make sure we start sending some stuff out starting tomorrow on the website. So look at your email if you come from the ASU Police Department. The other thing is make sure that your phone number is correct in ADP and Banner. What we're doing now is we're upgrading Connect 5. Last night, we had an issue with Connect 5. Some of you may have gotten the text. Some of you may not have gotten the text. But they're all clear. I think everybody got it. It just so happened we just had a meeting yesterday about Connect 5. Blackboard came down yesterday. There was shots fired in Wild Pines. We found out about it. Nothing major. Guys ran, didn't come on campus, but what we did, we came in last night, we locked down the campus, and we did a walk through all the buildings, all the resident hall, as air the side of a caution. So those are things that we have to do. And once we cleared the building, we took the campus off of lockdown. So when you get those notifications, make sure if you get a notification that's coming from the police department, it is serious. We don't send out anything from the police department unless there's an emergency. So if you get the notification from us, it's serious. All right? So make sure in ADP your phone number is correct, and in Banner, your information is correct. Any other questions before I turn over interim chief, assistant chief guest? None? Okay, got it.
I'm interim assistant chief Marcus Guest, and I do the training and set up for training for ASU Police Department. ASU Police Department has gone to the ALERRT training. If you got the email, you may have gotten an email that's talked about ALERRT. No, everybody don't understand what that is. It is the Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training. This will be what we'll be using in the event of an active shooter situation. We got all this talk about guns, right? Guns coming on campus now. It's an increase. So we want to show the ASU community what we do. We want to explain and show you guys what it's going to look like if we have to come into your classroom. Right? Everybody don't know what that part is, right? So you haven't seen that. So the police come busting up in the room. We talking about everybody got the 6 shooter out. John Wayne's in there shooting everybody. Y'all need to know what it looks like. So we're going to do some scenario training. I'm going to need some volunteers to come up on stage. So everybody don't run at once when I ask them. Give me some volunteers. And I think you should come up on stage. It'll be a great thing to do because if you remember, it's just like muscle memory. It comes back to memory. That's why we train like we do. We keep doing scenario training because it comes back to memory. If you sit in the audience and look at it, you might not know how to do it. Even though you saw it, you still might not know how to do it. So it's best to come and get involved. When I ride somewhere and go somewhere, if I'm sitting in the passenger seat, I may not remember how to get there. But if I'm driving, I always remember how to get there. So, Chief mentioned a couple things. He said one thing about the long gun. There's no long gun. Does anybody know what he's talking about rifles and long guns, right? Y'all know what they look like? Anybody know what they look like? This would be considered a long gun here. Oh yeah. By the way, these are not real. They're not going to shoot anybody. All the officers who are going to be participating on the stage do not have a weapon. And anybody who is going to participate on stage will go through a brief gun safety, even though these weapons are fake. This is what a long gun looks like. Now, if you see a joker walking around with this, you might want to say something. This means trouble. But for the most part, the gun bill covers handguns, right? These guns are an actual imitation of what the real size and feel of a gun is. So when we're training with what appears to be a real weapon, the same feel. This gun can actually go into my holster. See that? It is the actual size and weight of the gun that we carry. Has everybody in here touched a gun before? Anybody who hasn't touched a gun before? Stop it. If you have not touched a gun before, you can come by and pick up the gun, see what it feels like in your hands, et cetera, et cetera. These are also the stuff that we use, the stuff that's on display is the stuff that the officers will use whenever we come into an active shooter situation. Now, depending on the time frame, we may be able to put this stuff on. But if it's not, we don't have time, we may not be putting it on. Because if somebody's shooting, what's happening? If they're shooting at somebody, what's happening? Somebody's dying. So we can't wait around to be out there looking pretty and putting stuff on while people dying. We got to get in there and get to it. So sometimes we have time to put this on, sometimes we don't. But it's up here for the display. If you want to come and check it out, look at it. We have our shields, helmets, riot gear, all the stuff up here on stage for you to look at. This on display, we have a big shield there. If you pick up that shield right there, you better be done some weights. It's heavy. So we do use it, has a light on it too. So going to the training. ALERRT. These are the concepts that we look at when we go into an active shooter situation. Stay together as much as possible. That's what we have to do. Right? Why would we want to stay together? Anybody know? There's safety in numbers. Okay. 2 guns are better than 1. 504 degrees of cover. 540, that's everywhere. Top, they might be on the roof. Might be underneath you. Communication is big with us because we have to know what we're talking about. People coming in there. Now, this is the part that you guys don't see because this is the part where you may be screaming and hollering. Well, somebody might be screaming and hollering, right? Running, getting out of there. So we have to communicate. We have to stay calm. We have to communicate with each other. So when we come on stage, the people who come on stage are going to go through, I'm going to put them in the same shoes of the police. You're going to be the police for a little while. And you're going to see it from our perspective. So that's going to be fun. Cover your angles. They might be hiding, right? They might be hiding around the corner. We have to look at our angles. And this stuff, guys, this is something that is it's trained all the time, and I know the public doesn't see it, but we train this stuff, and we are very, very serious about covering these matters. Threshold evaluation. It's when they come into your room. We'll talk a little bit about that. When you come into the room, that's your threshold. We have to come into the room and engage the threat and move as fast as you can, as fast as you can shoot accurately and think. So if you're running, you can't shoot nobody. Not right anyway. So we have to practice these concepts. Does anybody have any questions about these concepts or principles of ALERRT? Okay. This is a little snippet of what of some training that we do. I wanted to show everybody a little piece of training that we do, how we do it when we go do our training here on campus. Whoever comes on stage might have to do that. So don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. It's going to be fun. You'll learn how to do it right quick, and you'll be able to see what we just did. This right here is a room entry with 4 police officers. So we'll pretend this is your classroom or building where you work. You may see something like this happen. Now, if you see that happening, you might want to be on the floor, because I don't think them guys would have been playing business. I don't think they would have been playing around when they come. They're coming straight in to save lives. So just like Chief Field said, if you have your gun out and there's a dead man on the floor and he's the active shooter, you stopped him, you got him. But how do we know you're not the active shooter? So that's a good question, right? So what would anybody do? You just shot somebody, you saved some lives. Now you just saved a bunch of people's lives. What would you do? Anybody? Drop the gun, hit the floor. That was all good answers. Drop the gun, hit the floor. Would you try to tell the police what's going on? Hey. I just shot somebody. That's not good. It's not a good look. That might not end right either. Okay, so this is the part where I'm going to ask for my volunteers. I need at least 4 volunteers to come up on stage and be the police. I'm talking about faculty, staff, or student, not anybody who is trained in police. Let everybody see here that we're going to do a safety check right quick, brief safety check, right? Let everybody see that this scene is safe. As you see, y'all see, I got a blue gun in here. It's blue. Is it blue? Is it not blue? Okay, do they have any guns? Y'all let them see. They don't have any guns, right? For the purpose of training. Okay, this is a blue gun. Okay, I'm going to pass it around. I'm going to let everybody feel it. Don't point the gun at nobody. All right, everybody feels the blue gun. Okay, so would it be as police? Every police officer has a gun. Okay, so let them all get a gun, please. It's a blue gun. It's a blue gun now. Everybody see that the gun is blue. She's passing it out. Okay, so right quick, we're going to go over some quick, brief safety and gun tips. Okay? Rule number 1. Don't point the gun at anything you don't want to shoot. Don't point the gun at anything you don't want to shoot. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is don't put your finger in the trigger guard unless you are ready to pull the trigger. Okay? Number 3 is the laser rule. If you point the laser at something, the red light, that's what you hit. The laser, the points up there, that's what you're going to hit. So if you point it at that person, that's what you're going to hit. Unless you're just a bad shot. If you're a bad shot, it ain't going to hit. And also, know your target and what's beyond. Why would we want to know what's beyond the target? Anybody who shot a gun before would know this. But why would you want to know what's past the target? You might miss. You might miss, go through, and it can hit somebody else. Chief Fields talked about that. They're going to sue. So the police department has to worry about this every time we come on scene. That in a situation that's serious, where we might have to use a gun, we have to worry about that. That's why we do the training. We do hours and hours and hours of training. Okay? So you all have a gun? So what I want you to do is turn sideways this way. I don't want you to nope. Let's line up this way. Right here, somebody stand by me.
No.
Because we're going to point the guns this way. I don't want nobody pointing the gun at the audience. All right, so there's 2 ways that we're going to, in this training, that you're going to be able to carry this gun. And one is combat ready, what we call combat ready. It sounds like you're ready to do something, right? Yep. Combat ready is this. That's when you're about to shoot somebody. Okay? Combat ready. Let's everybody do it together, please. Combat ready. There you go. Looks good. That looks good. That looks actually pretty good. Okay. Come back in. Come back in. Come back in. Now, I'm going to tell you the concept of that. The reason why you stand with your legs right here and do this is because it gives you balance. The gun's gonna have a little recoil. If you're standing all floppy, you're going to probably fall off the side. If it's depending on what size gun you have, right? That gives you some stance. Okay. Next is compressed combat range. That gun gets heavy. You hold it out here, right, for a long time, right? You hold it out here like this, and you walk down the hall, that thing gets heavy. After a while, it's gonna drop down here because you can't hold it up. This would be compressed combat range. Okay, everybody do this. So when you're walking, ain't that a little bit better on your arms, right? Feel better? Can you still shoot? Can you still shoot if you need to, right there? Okay, so when you're walking down the hall, we're walking down our dorms, our wall, that's where we might be. Police. All right. And then it is a third, and it's called sul. And sul means it's Portuguese for south. And it is this. Point your gun down. Don't put your feet together because you'll shoot yourself in the foot. But you want to hold your gun, and I'm going to come back. Hand here. Do this. Do this. Left hand. Put this thumb under there like that. And the gun is pointing straight. It should be pointing straight to the ground. Okay. All right? Now, from sul, you can do that. All right? Come back to sul. Right? Easy? Pretty easy. Easy stuff. Why would you need to go in sul? Anybody know why we need to go in sul? If you have to come around your partner. Right?
Right. Okay.
You gotta come around your partner. You don't want to come around your partner like this. Right?
Right.
You want to be in sul.
Yeah.
So now listen, I know that it's gonna be a lot to remember at one time, but we do it all the time. So I just want y'all to kind of see how we operate in this. Okay, so when you come around your partner, you don't want to do this. You want to go sul. Get behind your partner, right? Okay, so we're gonna do so everybody understands about weapon safety. Y'all understand the fundamentals of weapon safety? Don't point the gun at nobody unless you want to shoot. All that stuff. Don't put the gun in sul. You don't want to shoot in the back, right? Okay, so I'm gonna run a quick check. Combat ready. All right. Compressed combat ready. All right, sul. Okay, we ready to go. All right, so that's good. Give them. That's right. They did a good job. Awesome. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna have 4 scenarios. 4 scenarios. Y'all gonna be the police. Now, in these scenarios, bang means you shot. When you say bang, I take it as you shot somebody or you fired that gun. You want to give orders as the police. Stop. What do police say? They don't say stop, drop, and roll. They don't say that's when you're on fire. Stop, police.
Stop, police.
Right? Y'all never heard that? Y'all see it on the show?
Yeah.
TV show? Stop, police, drop it. Right?
Right.
You see a weapon? What? Drop it.
Drop it.
Y'all hear that on TV? Okay. So, but we also talk to people too, right? If they have a gun, you might want to talk to them why they're doing what they're doing, right? Why they're doing what they're doing. So, I know this. Y'all never been through this situation before, but I'm gonna show y'all right quick kind of what it's like to come into a room where there may be a potential shooter. Okay, and I want you guys to have it. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
As ready as they gonna be, right? Okay, so Frazier, come out. This is gonna be the hallway. Frazier's gonna be our suspect. He is gonna be our bad guy. This is your hallway that you're gonna come down. This is a simulated hallway, and this is your room. Okay? Y'all see how they came into that room? When they walked in that room, this is your room. So, what I want y'all to do is, y'all will come with each other. Y'all will be in a line, right? So that means what you got to do for the people in the back got to do what? Have their gun and shoes. Okay. Now, we have a thing that I'm going to show you right quick. Frazier, come stand over here for me right quick. All right, so I'm gonna get y'all over here. Audience, this is your door now. This is your simulated door. Frazier, come over here to the side. I'm gonna show y'all right quick. First, we're gonna do this and let everybody try this out. Come out a little bit more right here. I won't make it too hard. Come out a little bit this way. All right, stop right now. We're gonna slice the pie. What we call slice the pie. And that is, we can see the person before they see us. When we come into a room. Y'all think that's possible? If we're able to see a person before we can see a piece of them before they see us, that's how we know where they're at in the room. Okay, so slice the pie is this. You're gonna peek around here until you can see Frazier, but he can't see you. If he sees you, he gonna tell you. Okay? He gonna shoot at you.
He saw you.
See? Now he saw me. I saw me. Okay. Frazier got, okay, Frazier's the suspect. I want everybody to see Frazier before he sees you.
Everybody or just person in front?
Everybody. Everybody. Because you might be in front on the next one. You seen him? You already seen him? Did you see him, Frazier? Okay. You saw him before he did. Okay, so let me know when you see Frazier now. Frazier, I want you to point at him if you see them. Whenever you see them. All right, go. Shot. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, it's all you. Okay, y'all see, it's really not that easy, but it's a technique to it. But for the purpose of this training, we're not gonna go deep into it. But I want y'all to see how I want you to enter the room. I want you to look into the room first before you go in. This way is what we do. Okay. Okay, he was able to see. So, did you even see him? See, that's the thing. That's the thing. We have to go around the corner to see the suspect because we don't know where they're in the room. They might be in the corner. So we still can see them before they see us. Okay, so the first scenario is I want my entry team, which is you four guys, to come up. Now, if he sees you, whenever you see him, I want y'all to come on out and handle him. The moment you see him now, it's on. It's on. So I'm gonna give him the scenario, and I want y'all to handle it. This is fun, guys. It's fun. Y'all might mess it up, but it's fun right now. You might do good. I don't know. You might have some pros in here. Okay, so entry team, y'all ready? All right. I want y'all to come in. We had a call that there's a person in a room, in a classroom with a gun. Y'all the police. Now, do you remember your scene? What you supposed to say if you see something? What you see? You see a gun? Stop, police. What? Drop it. Drop the weapon, right? And if you have to shoot, what?
Bang. Bang.
Bang. You shot. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? All right, and begin. All right, let's go. And go. Stop. Drop.
Stop! Bang!
All right, she just shot. She just shot him. I think he surrendered. I believe he gave up. She shot him. He got shot now. All right, so did everybody see what happened? So we might be faced with a situation where a person puts the gun up, but they just made a movement. Can we really see what they're gonna do with that gun and she shot?
Yeah, she shot.
She just shot him. Graveyard dead. So that's the kind of we have a split. They had a split second to make that decision. It wasn't long. That's what we faced with. Okay. So now, if we have anybody else that want to come up, you're welcome. I'll trade them out. Trade somebody out if you want to do it, if you want to come up and get in some of this fun. But we're finna start with scenario 2. Okay. All right. All right. Now, same scenario. Person with a gun in the classroom. Gun shots fired. Okay. Go to enter team. Go.
Stop.
Y'all just let him get back and walk into school and kill about 10 people. Okay. Y'all come out. Everybody come out. Team, come out. Let's look at that right quick.
He turned around and walked
He turned around and walked off, right? But he had a gun in his hand. Did we see a gun in his hand? He just shot. We said shots were fired. He just walked down the hall and killed about 5 more folks.
4 guns. And we just...
All right, now, but what was different about that? He walked off.
Turned around and walked off.
He walked off. Y'all wouldn't expect him to just walk out. Okay. He's finna go kill. He just shot some folks. He's finna go kill some people. All right. Y'all doing pretty good. Y'all doing pretty good so far. All right, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do another scenario right quick. Enter team, line up. One more time. We'll do 2 more, and then we'll go from there. Y'all doing pretty good, though. Y'all doing good for not having to train. Doing pretty fairly well. All right, guys. Y'all, you see, they from the game plan, they talking. They from the game plan together. That's what I like that. All right, so here we go. 3rd scenario. Ready and go.
Stop.
Good job. That was actually pretty decent. Hey, y'all seen that? Everybody came and got some shots in. Everybody stepped out and got some shots in on that one. That was good. He started shooting at y'all. Right? So y'all engaged. That was good. Y'all, it's just getting really good. Everybody give him applause on that. Give him a round of applause on that. That was good. That was actually pretty good. He was dead now. Okay, so we got one more scenario. Okay, so what scenario is this? Y'all got a call to an irate person in the room, possible gun. Okay, and they heard gunshots. All right, ready and go.
Hey, get out the room. Stop. Get it.
Stop.
Get out the room. Stop. Get it. Drop. Hey, get out the room. Hey, you don't believe I do it? Get out the room. Get out the room.
Okay, now I told him. This is what I told my person. If it didn't look like y'all had it under control, go ahead and shoot the suspect.
Okay.
But go ahead and shoot the victim.
Okay.
And then a lot of times they shoot themselves. But being that you guys had already obliged suicide by police, may be what he wanted.
That's true.
Now, but do y'all see how hard that situation is?
Yeah, I can see how you can. Yeah.
So is it easy when we hear the thing like you should have shot him in the arm? Could you look at his arm?
No.
You should have shot him in the leg. He didn't have to shoot him. He didn't have to shoot him in the chest, in the head. You shot him in the leg. Could you see his leg? Could you think in that kind of stress? Were y'all stressed just then?
Yes.
Were y'all stressed out?
Yes.
Could you think you could aim for his arm stressed out like that? Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay. So police are faced with this kind of situation. This is what we do. This is a situation we may come in. We might have run in the classroom like that. So we have to train for that. It's not easy to be on the side of the police when that kind of situation is happening. So in your classroom, could it happen? I mean, what are you going to do? Now, if you had a gun, let's say you had a gun, and you engaged, could you have shot the victim? Could the police have shot the victim?
Yeah.
Even with training. So these situations are very, very difficult. And that's what we have to be faced with. That's why we train, and that's why we do this ALERRT training. That's why we spend hours at the gun range. That's why we have to qualify every year, so that we know that we are shooting a proficiency enough to be able to handle a situation of that caliber. And that's not an easy situation for everybody. So, do I have any other people want to come up? There we go. It's not real. There is no wrong or right answer. All right, hey, that's all good. Come on up. There we go. One more.
Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all just learned something, right? Y'all give them another round of applause. All right, so look, we'll go through the same thing. If y'all were able to hear what I did the first time, we're going to go through the gun safety. Don't point the gun at nobody you don't want to shoot them. Right? We understand? Don't put your finger in the trigger guard unless you're ready to shoot. And the actual way you do that to keep from shooting it, I'm going to show you right quick, is this. You hold the gun like that, because if you hold it like this, it takes too long to get back to the trigger, right? So I'm going to teach you the right way. I'm going to show you the right way. It's actually like that. So why? You can just do that right quick, right? If you want to go in there and shoot, you can do that right quick, right? Make sense? Okay? Know your target and what's beyond. Right? And the laser rule. Don't point it. Whatever the laser's pointing at, that's what you're going to hit. Okay? All right, so we're going to go into we're going to line up beside me right here again. Right there. Sorry. We're going to line up again. 3 positions that you're going to be in this training. Combat ready. Y'all ready? Combat ready. Here. That's when you're about to shoot somebody, right? Okay. Looking good. Compressed combat ready is here. Here. That's right. And the reason you go compressed combat ready is because you can still shoot from compressed combat ready. If you're walking and you go out in the hallway, somebody jump out. You can do that, but you could also do this, right? And SUL, which is here. Put that hand here, just like that. This thumb, and the gun is pointed down like this. Okay, don't put your feet together. You shoot yourself in the foot. Feet got to be out. So if this was a real gun and you did fire it, go. All right. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get ready to set up in our groups. All right. For the purpose of this training, bang is what? You shot somebody, right? Stop police. You see them doing something, you want to stop them? Stop police. If you want them to drop the weapon, drop the gun, drop it, right? Okay? Pretty simple. Okay? And if you have to talk to them, you can talk to them now in a situation where you might have to talk somebody down. Right? Okay. Okay, so we are going to get in our groups of 4. This is your hallway, right? And we're going to do the same scenarios that we just did. All right. I got my suspect here. All right. Y'all guys are going to come here. I see Frazier right there. Can you see me, Frazier?
No, sir.
I see Frazier on. So, that's what we want to do. Okay? And we're going to give everybody a chance to try it. All right, go. Bam! You got you. All right, next person. All right, Mr. Brown. See Fred before he see you. All right. Let me know when you see him. Okay. I think he kind of saw you. You know what? He did a really good job now. He did a really good job. I think he did see Frazier before Frazier saw him. He just didn't say anything. I think he did a good job. I think he saw him. That was good. James, good job. Next person. Okay, she saw it. Can you see her? Oh, wow. All right, yeah. She said she saw your foot.
Okay.
All we want to do is see a piece of it. All you looking for is just a piece of the person. So you know where they at? You come out, they want to know who this was that did a good job. Come on out, come out. For you, yes. Come on out. They want to know who did the good job. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Good job. This group on the road. This group rocking. Y'all the police. Y'all would handle it. We got gunshots in the classroom. Police y'all got the call to come there. All right, ready? Go.
Drop the weapon. Drop the weapon. Stop.
They didn't do anything wrong. If he was walking out the door, and you know that there's people in the hallway, or there's another classroom right over there, they stopped him before he got a chance to go hurt somebody else. All right, that was good. Y'all give him. They got him now. They got the bad guy. Okay. Shots fired in the classroom, same scenario. Go.
Stop. Bang.
Okay, they shot him, but so one of the officers gonna go to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
He shot him. So one officer about to go to the hospital. Mr. Healy about to go to the hospital. He about to go because he didn't shoot. I don't think, did you shoot Mr. Healy?
I got him.
No, Mr. Healy didn't shoot. No. He got it. All right, y'all ready? And go.
Hey, get out the room, man. Get out the room. Drop the weapon. Hey, what I say? Get out the room. Drop the weapon. What you want me to hold for? What? I'm not dropping the weapon. No, what you want to hold for?
Okay, we're gonna look at that one now. James snuck up there and shot him.
Yeah,
He snuck up there and shot him in the hip. Which was good. Okay, all right, so we're gonna look at that situation. How did that make y'all feel in that situation?
Scared.
You were scared, right?
Yeah.
Stressed. Okay, so you really know what to do. You know what he was gonna do, right?
Right.
Okay, so now let me tell you what thing that the training that we get that you can't have everybody talk, right? Everybody was giving him commands. Yeah. So who is he supposed to listen to? Who is he really supposed to listen to? Now the first person in the room is really the person that's supposed to give the command. Now if he see, because I think he started relating to you because you were kind of a little bit more, you had that you wasn't gonna shoot it. If you see him relating to her, then you let him talk to him. Right?
Right.
Because he's entertaining. Now of course, Mr. Brown, while he was talking to her, Mr. Brown kind of eased around. Mr. Brown kind of eased around. He went ahead and stopped the threat. Took care of business. There's nothing wrong with it. That was actually really good. Now. But you don't want to rush that. That was like I said, that was a good situation. It actually ended well. The victim lived. The victim lived, right? Yay! Victim survived. Okay. And we're gonna do our last one. And then this will be over for the scenario. Okay. Here we go. Last scenario. I need y'all to do good on this one. All right, ready. Shots fired in the room. People done got shot. Ready and go.
Freeze. Hands up. Drop the weapon. Drop it.
He shot it. He dropped the weapon. He did what he told him to do. Hey, he did what he told him to do. He said drop the weapon. He dropped it. And he shot it. Okay. Did you feel like he was going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You thought he was raising that gun up to shoot you? So y'all see do y'all see from the eyes of the police what we're faced with when we have that? He made an overt move. Mr. Healy was already under a lot of stress. He had that call, people dying now. The folks that are dying. He trying to come save lives. That man did his number right here. I mean, we don't know if he was going to shoot him. We don't know if he was going to come up and bring that gun up and shoot him or not. That's a tough situation, guys. So that's what we have to look at. That's what we train. I wanted everybody to kind of see how we train when we're faced with a gun violence or active shooter situation. But good job. Everybody give him a round of applause. Everybody give him a round of applause. That was very good. That was very good. I'm gonna end it. I'm not gonna run it to 12. I'm gonna go ahead and do this last piece so we can get out a little early. But this is the last piece that we're gonna talk about when we talk about how we come in and how a situation. So when the police arrive on the scene of active shooter or gun violence situation, we size up the scene. Didn't they do that? When they came in, they kind of sized the scene up. They looked around in the room, sliced the pie, what we call slice the pie. They looked in there a little bit, see what was going on. What we'll be getting is the suspects identifying characters and location where they may possibly be at. Y'all heard I said dispatch. There's a shooting in the room, classroom. There's shots fired. That's what we'll get on the radio. So we'll go to that location. We're going to identify the danger zones. We're walking down the hallways. We're looking to see where there might be a threat while we're doing that. So do we have time to talk to somebody if they run up there and they're scared? Do we? We don't have time because why? Somebody's still getting shot. We can't now if we walk by them and we haven't gotten any information, we can say, what he look like? I mean, that's probably all you're gonna get from me. What he look like? And you can just tell me on the way past, because I'm still going to my threat, trying to stop it. Establish command. First officer on scene is the incident commander. What I said about the guy giving the orders. The first guy gives the orders. He's the incident commander. So when he comes out, he's the only one that should be talking. He's the only one that should be talking to the person. Unless, now they can communicate with each other, but the person on the scene, the first person in the group, first person there, it gives the commands. He's going to talk to him. Now, if somebody in the group is a better negotiator, then he might hand the table over to them and let them talk to him, and then he kind of sit back and watch as well. And then we're going to do what? Last one. Gauge the threat. Stop the killing. That's what we're coming to do. Gauge the threat. Stop the killing. We're trying to reduce and save lives. So when we get on scene, we are there to stop the threat. Come in the classroom. We're going to stop the threat. We're trying to save lives. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. So what do? We always talk about this, and students have, this is mostly faculty, staff, and students have a right to do this. Run, hide, or fight. You can't run. Running is an option now. You ain't always scared if you run. People think you're scared when you run away. But usually the people who run away live to tell the story. They live to tell the story. Now, my friends, the three of us together, one of my friends ran and my two friends got butt beat. Now, I'm going to have a problem with that. They ran and left us there to fight now. Have a big problem. But you can also hide. Now, hiding is an option. If somebody's in there shooting, that you may have to do. You might. So, question: if somebody was shooting, you're in a room and they're shooting in the hallway, would you run in the hallway? Okay. So in that particular situation, you may have to shut the door and hide it. Food for thought. That's like shooting fish in a barrel. If you run in that hallway, I don't know. You might can make it now. You might can make it, but I don't recommend it. And fight. You might have to fight them. You might have to stop them. I mean, so those are your options. Sometimes you ain't faced with nothing else but that. But you want to live, right? You want to live? Everybody want to live? So we might have to do these things. That's why we talk about them. That's why we stress. That's why we stress these things to the community. Anybody got any questions? Yeah.
But you're not thinking that, okay, let me say for instance, someone come in, they're already upset, they're agitated, okay? So you're having dialogue with that person that came into the office.
Mm-hmm.
You're not thinking that, okay, this is gonna, at what point do you say this is a little too much? I mean, because a lot of times when I'm in the office and they come in agitated, you try to talk to them to calm them down, but with this gun thing now, you might not be able to do the talking to calm them. So at what point do we contact you all?
When did you start feeling uncomfortable?
I don't know, I can do some talking now.
You weren't uncomfortable while you were doing your talking. So the moment you start feeling uncomfortable, you need to go ahead and call. Because if you see that you're talking and it's getting to them, and they may be just there to talk. They may not have a gun. Let's just say they don't have a gun, but they still irate. Could they hit you in the face?
Yeah, because I have been in a situation where when I was doing like the cashier work, where they have taken their fish and actually, because they were angry.
And did what with it?
And punched the glass.
You might let it get went a little bit too far. Because what if they punched you? I mean, I'm just saying, they punched the glass because they were mad they had to release that anger. But
see, when they punched glass, I was up under the thing already because, I ain't but 5, so I just went on up. But
you're in the room. You're in the room with them, right? You saw them punch the glass. They were talking to you. They got mad. They hit the glass. Bam, right? Mm-hmm. You climbed up under something. Mm-hmm. Now they come where you at under the thing. Oh, they got a glass between them.
The cashier.
Cashier wouldn't. Got you. Okay, yeah, they get mad at the cashier wouldn't.
See?
No, but you go ahead and call somebody. Go ahead and get somebody over there. Get somebody en route. Let the police know that somebody need to be coming. Because if he do something, then that way there's only just a little bit of time because the police are already on the way. Mm-hmm. Right? I wouldn't give much talking. I wouldn't do much into the whole negotiation thing. I would just go ahead on and get somebody over there. Because it's uncomfortable. They're showing out. They're making a scene. It's not comfortable to anybody else around them. So they need to go ahead and get the police over there. They'll go ahead on and try to get on. They'll go ahead on and leave. They know the police is en route. They're going to leave. Okay? Anybody else? Questions? Okay? We don't have any more questions. Everybody feel free before you go to come check out some of our gear. If you didn't get a chance to, touch the guns and see what the guns feel like, you're welcome to do that. I appreciate everybody coming out. Make sure you get a copy of the House Bill 280 if you didn't get a copy of that. If y'all have any questions or concerns, always call the police department. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We appreciate everybody coming out to this training, and y'all have a great day.